What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Welcome to day 15 of my 365-day graphic novel review challenge. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a series that I have briefly talked about on my channel before, but it was 3 volumes that I was talking about in one video, and I thought it would be better if I kind of dissected each volume in a video of their own. So today, I wanted to talk to you about Angel After the Fall, Volume 1. This collects the first 5 issues of the Angel After the Fall series, co-written by Brian Lynch and Joss Whedon, with art by Franco Uru, I guess like Thor's hammer. And this is from IDW, and basically if you've ever heard of the television series Angel, which is about a vampire with a soul who is trying to atone for all the evil that he did before he had a soul, the end of the series ends with Angel and his friends. They have rebelled against their bosses, who are the evil law company Wolfram and Hart, and then Wolfram and Hart plunges Los Angeles into hell. The last moments of the series, there is a portal that opens and a whole bunch of demons come out, and then our characters go to fight the demons, and then cue credits. And so this series was widely anticipated even before it was announced that it was going to happen. After Angel ended, a lot of people wanted to see what happens next. Who survives? Do they all die? Do they save the day? What happens? And when this was announced, a lot of people got super excited for it, and myself included. I was very excited to see where this would go, and I like the premise of it, and I like certain things about it, but overall, I think that this series was almost something that we shouldn't have gotten. I think that we would have just been better off if each of us came up with our own idea of what happened to each of the characters in Angel after the series ends. This series, or this volume here, the first 5 issues, is the best of what I've read from Angel After the Fall. And I have only read the first 3 volumes. I didn't go any further than that because as I got further and further into the series, I liked it less and less. But Volume 1 is the best. I really like that it starts in medias res. We don't pick up immediately after Angel Season 5 ends. We pick up a few weeks or months after the city of Los Angeles has fallen into hell. And I really like the premise here. Like I said, I like the idea that Angel is going around, he's lost, but he's trying to make the best out of a really horrible situation, and we find out that a few other people are also trying to make the best of a horrible situation, and we start to see the beginnings of the rumblings of a plot beginning to happen, but we don't get to see much plot here. Basically, Los Angeles has been divided up into, I think, 6 or 7 different smaller chunks, kind of like Batman No Man's Land, where a lot of the villains had divided up Gotham into territories. It's a lot like that, where different demons have taken over different parts of Los Angeles. Lorne, from the TV series Angel, he is the Lord of Silver Lake. And then the Lone Shark guy from that one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he is the Lord of one of the territories. And there are a whole bunch of demons who are all in charge, and then basically this volume ends with Angel saying, okay, I'm going to challenge all of you to a battle, and then if I win, then I'm going to set all of your human slaves free, and then you guys are not in charge anymore. And then if you win, then you don't have me killing your soldiers anymore. And we get a whole lot of, and then this volume ends with all of Angel's former allies kind of coming to his rescue, and they're helping him in the fight, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. And the one thing that I really don't like about this book, the thing that I think works the least about it, is it feels like they came up with a whole bunch of oh wow moments, and then they built their entire volume around that. This has oh wow moments like, oh wow, Angel is a human now, he's not a vampire anymore, and he's still trying to fight the good fight, and Wolfram and Hart took away his vampirism so that it would be harder for him to fight the good fight. Or, oh wow, Connor is here, and he's fighting bad guys. Or, oh wow, Wesley is back, and he's a ghost, and he's been forced to work for Wolfram and Hart. Or, oh wow, Gunn is a vampire now, and he's the big bad of this series, or at least he's kind of behind some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on in this volume. Wolfram and Hart and the Demon Overlords, they're more the bad guys at the forefront of the story, whereas Gunn is kind of in the background doing evil things. But there's a whole lot of oh wow moments, but I'm not sure if all of that was worth creating a series here. And I think, like I said, this is the best volume of the 3 that I've read, but I think the further you get into this series, it gets worse. And I'll talk about that more tomorrow and the day after. But I do like this. I like the premise of Angel being stuck in hellish dimension and all of his friends kind of trying to do different stuff. Spike is kind of living like Hugh Hefner. He's got Illyria with him, and he's got a whole bunch of women that he's training to take care of themselves. I really like that. I really like Connor and Nina and Gwen. They're all kind of trying to be heroes. And that's another thing that kind of bothered me is that this, and from what I've heard of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 8 comics, which I haven't read any of the Buffy comics after the series ended, but from what I've heard of that series, and it is present here, I don't like that once Whedon is out of the realm of TV, suddenly he feels like because he's not working with a television budget anymore and he doesn't have to deal with actors who don't want to be in a show, or, you know, he has to pay actors, so he has a limited budget to pay actors with. Because he doesn't have to deal with all of that, suddenly Whedon brings in every single character who is ever in Angel and tries to use them in some way. We have Illyria, we have Fred, she shows up very briefly in this book. We have Gunn, we have Wesley, we have Angel, we have Lorne, we have Spike, we have Nina and Gwen, we have Connor. That's a lot of characters, especially when this ends up being about the length of what 2 episodes of the series would be. Because any given episode of Angel was 45 minutes long, whereas any given single-issue comic book is going to be about 22 pages long. And this is only 5 issues, so you're not getting to cover as much ground as 5 episodes of a television series or anything like that. So it feels like the cast here is a little too crowded, and I feel like that gets worse the further you get into it. The Gruselog shows up very briefly at one point in this book, and you get characters who show up, and I feel like they could have been removed without the story suffering very much. And that's not as problematic here. It gets to be a little bit more problematic later. I know it sounds like I really did not like this. I do like the idea of seeing the characters after the fall of Los Angeles, getting to see them in this hellish dimension where they're trapped, and getting to see them try to save people and stop demons from doing demonic things. I just don't necessarily like the way it's handled. But if you are a hardcore fan of Joss Whedon and his properties from television, you probably already own this, but if you don't, you would probably enjoy this. You would probably you would probably enjoy getting to see characters like Angel and Spike once again after it's been so long where you haven't gotten to see them on TV. But for me, I would say go read Angel and Faith, which is a series that I won't be talking about in my 365-day challenge, but I read the first volume of Angel and Faith and talked about it a couple years ago, and I think it's much better than Angel After the Fall. It's much more streamlined. It just involves Angel and Faith and Giles also in a way, but it's much more streamlined. It's much more clear about what it wants to do. It doesn't try to do everything in the kitchen sink, and I think it's just overall a better series, or at least the first volume was. So those are my brief thoughts on Angel After the Fall Volume 1. I know it sounded like I was really hard on this, and I guess I am, but I did enjoy reading it. There were things about it that I really liked. I just wish that it had been a little bit better about how it went about telling the story. So those are my thoughts on Volume 1 of Angel After the Fall. Be sure to check out what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about Volume 2 tomorrow of Angel After the Fall, and be sure to continue checking me out in my 365-day challenge. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.